Hi there. So, it's been a minute. Basically, my last computer completely melted down to the point where I couldn't even get anything off the hard drive, so that whole run was kind of thrown away. But I basically just rebuilt everything. Just went and redid the run up to this point, and actually went for a little bit of a different one this time. This guy's a little bit lighter. Got rid of the heavy rockets. Went for the hand and mid ones. Only real other difference aside from that is I actually screwed up some stuff along the way and skipped a few missions, like that boat mission, which is oh so fun. So I didn't actually get the A rank to do these guys. So if I have it looked at right, it should be one more that goes pretty well. I think I can afford to fail one more, and then I need to ace one more, and then should be able to just off-screen these two guys, and then finally do ace. And I couldn't remember which ones of these I did, so who knows? Those ones are largely going to be the same, you know, chase around and beat down with rockets anyway. So let's see here. Since it's defend the HQ one, I'm going to be grabbing a few extra parts. Yeah, that's going to be useful right there. Come to think of it, I don't remember why I keep going for this core. Because I'm really not making much use of all those extra parts. Whatever, I'll just slap a couple of these on there, see what happens. Oh yeah, disable lock-ons, that's what it was. That's what I forgot. This was basically speedrunning this to this point. Yeah, shield coverage. Definitely need that one. I actually was considering just putting this on there for congruity's sake, because that looks really cool with those two. I don't really want the drain at the moment. As I completely forget what I was doing here. Okay. So what I actually wanted was the spread rockets. These guys are kind of a pain once they start coming in groups. This is the one where you basically just sit there and have a shooting gallery. This might be a terrible idea, but this might be a great idea. Because we'll just see how it goes. So this is the one where they basically tell you, well, we have a whole bunch of little balls invading our house. Why don't you come over and, you know, help us deal with that? So first part, you can boost infinitely. Of course, you have to hold it down, otherwise you fall down. I'll just ignore that little mistake. Oh yeah, that's working. Yeah, I guess a little bit better than I expected, a little bit worse.
They're approaching the bulkhead.
Guess it's a little bit easier to hit them when they're open with this.
Take them out. Raven, stop them.
Yes, yes. Rockets. Oh, that. Aw. I thought I got them both. So honestly, most of the time I end up just failing this one. It's probably because the strategy of just sitting here doesn't particularly bode particularly well. I'll just say particularly a few more times. But it's kind of random with their opening and closing.
You're almost through. Hurry.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. And then one last group. Actually, no, wait, there's two more pods, aren't there? Oh well. That one doesn't particularly matter. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I could afford one more failure to actually get the A rank there. That's all I'm really going for. I'm not going for all mission completion. Because then every single kind of challenge run would end up completely failing when it came to that destroy organisms or whatever it was, the one in Ruglin. So that one's a pain. I don't know why I'm saving quite yet. But, Yeah, one sec, because I need to check how the audio actually is in case I screwed it up. Alrighty, everything looks good there. So yeah, obviously didn't get the A off that. That would have been an interesting promotion choice. But yeah, actually, whether you win or not, they always get overrun anyhow. They're good like that. Not that that actually stops them from coming back and asking why you're not siding with them at the very end of the game, but whatever. I guess they just kind of sat around pouting. They didn't get their computer god. Alright, so this guy... pretty easy on a rocket run. It's just these missiles that are annoying. Really, the water's the biggest threat. Actually, can just kind of brute force him. And this build is tanky enough to just be able to take his hits. And usually, by the time he rounds the corner, he can be gone. So, two-cycle him. Kind of the danger of using these extensions while flying around here is obviously they'll drain you out pretty quick. I'm gonna think of it, I don't know if the energy weapon optional parts will actually help with the drain on these. I think I'm gonna slap some of them on there and see what happens. Never actually tried that. I'd figure it does, because I know with the extensions, they still do technically count as a projectile. Like, if you do that... there's that mission with the... we basically just stand there and dodge missiles for a while. If you actually run up to them with missile extensions on, or the anti-missile ones, you actually can kill them with the projectiles if you're just standing right next to them. Actually, you can have them blow each other up too. Yeah, let me just see if I can get both of these on there. Yeah, there we go. That might just help. So I'm gonna go off-screen these two guys real quick. Because they always take me a few times. Well, okay, Royal Mist does. The other guy's a joke. One sec. And then there was lots of this. And then there was even more of this. Well, just kind of sitting and waiting for him to burn anyway. I would have really been in trouble at the end there if he had actually let his EOs recharge. Thankfully, he occasionally forgets to do that. And here's the last attempt at any rate. So brought along the mid-rockets, but they really do absolutely jack against him. I think I was getting 200 or 300 with each hit, so it really wasn't worth how hard it is to land them on him. So pretty much what I was doing was just strafing around with the napalm and hitting him and running away. I got a little bit screwed by the extensions, which actually tested around a bit, and it seems like the optional parts do help, but they don't really help enough to justify using that other core. So I switched over to the lighter and sturdier one, and yeah, so then I think I actually ended up getting put into charging a few seconds from now, if I remember right. Because he launches so many missiles, it just drains the entire bar. Yeah, right there. So they're a liability against... these extensions are a major liability against him for sure. And at this point, I was just kind of counting every single degree that decided to show up. It's actually part of the reason that I go for kind of a crappier radiator. I think I went for the third one on the list. I'd go with the cooling arms. I don't know, it just seems like a good middle ground. Maybe that's not the best way to do it. And they kind of look a little bit dorky with the wing design, but yeah. That works. Usually I end up using these particular arms actually because of the, like, the whole flappy kind of inside part situation that's going on there. Kind of like how it just has those 4 panels open up. And you'd think it would be so much more than a single rocket. Actually, whenever Core Answer came around, it made me wonder why they didn't have inside part shotguns. Seems like it would have been very useful. I mean, it seems like the closest thing are actually the mines, which actually might do a crossback run later, and that's frankly the only way that guy does damage. Like running into stuff and mining it in the face, and typically it does around 1200 on most things. The only problem is it's really hard to land, because it just basically vomits them out in front. So sometimes if you're basically hovering right above somebody and get the angle just right, you can hit somebody from the air. Most of the time they require almost point-blank range to work. This gun does nothing, his back parts do nothing. Very, very underpowered guy. This part was starting to get a little bit overconfident because of how close the fight was getting. Because normally if you are at least within 3,000 of them, you have a chance. Most of the time he'll run out of ammo right before the end, but he always saves a few missiles and he always seems to have slightly more ammo than he should. But it's just the way that he fires it. And surprisingly, for shooting pretty dang willy-nilly, he does actually manage to conserve his ammo pretty well. And yeah, that was one of the mistakes that almost ended up screwing this over. Just got a few too many hits in, ended up moving out of the corner a little bit too early. Trying to catch him on the corner here. Didn't quite work out. Moved faster than I wanted. So he's only half dead. He's running low on rockets. I was kind of figuring this is probably going to be a dead run at this point. I just noticed I forgot to change the color. I like the orange. I don't know, usually I switch it to yellow or green. In all honesty, I think the orange one looks like aesthetically the best. So you can see even with these, they're not exactly doing a tremendous amount of damage to them. But as long as both rockets connect, it's still a good 500-600. The only problem is he's got so much DPS coming out of him, and he turns a lot faster than he seems like he should. He's really hard to actually keep up with. I mean, a few times I've actually succeeded, in the rocket run when I was doing it originally. I did actually manage to succeed in just dodging his shots almost point blank, but that was just luck. And he fires so erratically, and he has all spread guns, and if you try to run away at all, you're basically going to get eaten up, so unless you're exactly a few feet away and exactly dodging at the right time, it's not going to really work out. And even then, his EOs can just circle around and hit you anyway. So if you overheat at any point in that process, you're basically screwed. I started realizing by now that he was finally out of ammo. So punch him in the face with a rocket, of course. So as usual, he's a bit of a stressful bastard. But I'm just gonna skip BB entirely, though. So, one sec.